Well, hello, people. Today I am going to be reviewing Tokyo Ghoul Re, a sequel to Tokyo Ghoul and Tokyo Ghoul Route A. It came out, a few years after the first and second season, and I ended up watching this, after the fact, like a few years after. Is Re a really solid conclusion to Tokyo Ghoul? Yes, but let's just say Tokyo Ghoul Re could have. You know what? Let's get started, shall we?
To your goal. Fine, I'll do it. If that's what it takes. I'm not gonna let Mr. Sasaki stand in my way! Terrific.
3 years have passed since the events of the first series and second series. We follow Heisei Sasaki, which is actually Kaneki, who has amnesia. He works for a group of the CCG, which is a special force of humans/ghouls to help deal with ghouls. They are usually tasked to help the CCG and deal with very serious ghouls. And with Kaneki with amnesia, has new allies. But soon the plot will follow up on Kaneki, as his new identity of him struggles with Kaneki's soul. Before long, it leads up to the situation of the CCG and ghouls facing each other. And down the line, a lot of truth comes out on secret things and this and that. I don't want to go through all of the details, but let me tell you this. The plot, some parts of it, were actually a bit confusing, at least to me, to kind of follow. Well, when it came to family or a group that was founded by the CCG or something like that, and certain ghoul groups doing their thing and causing stuff while these ghouls are doing stuff, the plot made me feel like, wait, what are they doing and what's going on? And midway through Tokyo Ghoul Re, oh boy, do they skip a lot. They throw you off on a lot of things going on because they freaking skip. Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't read the manga, but how it was executed where they cut off specific things, it's like a time jump. Like what? Soundtrack wise, it's pretty good. Lyric music is good. They actually got a YouTuber, Lynn Lee, they got one of her music in this show and other episodes, I believe. She's also a voice actress herself, so that's pretty cool. Animation wise, it does look a bit different from the previous season or seasons, but I can say I didn't mind it. Some people may have issues with it. I did like the style of the original, but this wasn't bad. Now, we know the characters from the previous one, but we do have new ones. Especially Kaneki's amnesia state, where he has a force of human/ghouls. All have their own personalities, their struggles, and them doing the job for the CCG. On top of that, the new CCG characters as well. While the group that Kaneki runs, when he still identifies as Heisei, I think the one interesting character that has a lot of personal issues when it comes to wanting to succeed and being the best of the best is Kuki Yuri. However, we also get some villains which do appear for a showdown. But the biggest problem with this show is the dang time skip. He doesn't give us enough time to get to know the characters a bit more. Certain flashbacks show what they did or hanged out with whoever. We get a lot of new faces outside of the CCG, which would be this group from Shu Tsukiyama. There were a lot of points where some characters barely get enough time to develop and get killed off. Most familiar faces come back. Worst of all, you may not know what they're doing when it comes to the time skip midway through this season. I do think Kaneki and Toka's character development was okay at best. The first part really didn't focus on her that much. It was more on Kaneki with his amnesia and leading a group till the halfway point. And like I said, what are these characters doing? Are they working for the bad guys? What group are they with? It has been a while since I've seen the first season of Tokyo Ghoul, but this really did leave out a lot of things at that midpoint. And while we got new characters, I was more interested in seeing the older cast of Tokyo Ghoul during the first part of Tokyo Ghoul Re. The others grew on me later. It's just the sequel did feel a bit bland compared to the first season. I enjoy this show for what it was, because it was a continuation of the first/second season because of how the second season ended. This was a follow-up. It wrapped up everything nicely. However, with what I said, the time jump affected things a bit with this show. I guess because it was more of them just rushing and adding things around everything to wrap it up instead of following the dang book from scratch. Yeah, it just felt like a jumbled up mess, and it didn't work. If they had gone through a better pace, which the beginning of the show did until the halfway point with the time skip, it would have been better. But here, no. Obviously, I enjoyed to see what happens to the main characters and the conclusion, but that's about it. So this is kind of hard for me to decide here. While I enjoy Tokyo Ghoul Re just to see the conclusion after the original series, it suffers with that pacing point, with the time skipping. There were points where I kind of like got a little bit confused at points, especially like after the time skip, because they cut so much material from the manga. Now, like I mentioned, I didn't read the manga. I want to get the full thing here, but we don't get that, sadly. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed just seeing the characters again. And the new characters are fine too. They have interesting moments, but you know, you may be more into one to see the original cast, which you do get. It's just not, it just was not that great when they time skipped everything. It's kind of like when you're in an amusement park with all the rides. You want to get on a ride. Okay, you get on a ride, they start it, and then they stop it. They tell you to get off that one, get on this one, when they could have did the whole thing, but no, they don't. They tell you to get on this one. Then they start you on that ride, but it didn't feel complete by the time the ride's done, and the whole ride just felt off. You stopped at one, you didn't continue that one, you skipped most of this ride, you jumped on this new ride, and you continued. You didn't get the full experience. And this is what happened with Tokyo Ghoul Re. We didn't get the full experience because of that time skip. We could have seen so much more with what these characters were doing. But since they cut most of the material out, then you're left kind of baffled and perplexed. It's kind of hard for me to say how I want to conclude this review. I liked to see the characters, Kaneki, Toka, all that. You know, like I said, the new cast is fine, but you know, you may be more into the original. I would say, for my conclusion of Tokyo Ghoul Re, if you had finished the original Tokyo Ghoul and you're a fan, and if you're like a really big fan of Tokyo Ghoul in general, just the series in general, then yes, watch it. However, to me, while I liked it for what it is, with, you know, the characters' plots and all that, the plot got affected and rushed. Bada bing, bada boom. So to me, overall, it's okay. It could have been a bit better with, well, it could have been like maybe 51 or so episodes. They could have done something like that, and I would have been okay with it. That would have been more complete. But no, they just rushed it. They just didn't add the rest of what we could have seen. So yeah, by day's end, when you watch it, you're going to be a little confused. If you like Tokyo Ghoul, then you'll like it, but that's only if you're a big fan. Kind of wanted more depth with what's going on. But if you want to see Kaneki and Toka, and even the original cast again, well, Tokyo Ghoul Re is for you. Anyway, that's all the time I have for today. This is Arturelia signing off. Peace.